quick video of the beginning of November, flowers blooming in my garden. So these are Mexican petunias, and I suppose some people might think those are invasive, but they seem to be in control here. These aren't a bloom, but look how beautiful. That's a beauty berry. I guess I'm starting off with invasives, right? So this is wedelia, and I just love this plant, and it doesn't seem to get out of control here at all, but it does like to fill a space. Here are a bunch of drift roses, and also I just love these little Cupid shaving brushes. They're so adorable, and they just come here naturally. I also have some zinnias in the background, and this beautiful, most gorgeous muhly grass. And then this is my jatropha, but in this zone here, and at least in my property, this is as much as it gets and as tall as it gets because it dies back down in the winter. And then here I have a whole bunch of, this one's a better specimen, pink pentas. I also have some straggling yellow alamandas and loropetalum blooms too. Not too many right now, but definitely have loropetalum blooms. But this one I limbed up as a tree, so most of the flowers are going to be up high because you can see here this doesn't have a lot of branches. I limbed it up. Here are a bunch of white drift roses. Oh, the downy jasmine has come into a more spectacular bloom. And then above that, I have what I consider to be an invasive is a black-eyed Susan vine, and then there's actually some morning glories mixed in there. And this is an absolutely glorious yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And now I want one for the other side to flank both sides of this path. But look at these, aren't they great? They're coming out pinker in the camera. They're more purple, like have a bluer tone in real life. And I also have some white pentas. And here I have some annual vinca and this really cute salvia. And here's some pink gomphrena, camellia, or this is October Magic camellia. And here are some Florida cracker roses, old blush. Here are a couple of flowers on my Asian snow bush. And I still have a few blooms on my plumbago. And there are a lot of blooms on the blue daze. Some of these are blue daze, some of these are blue my mind. And more white pentas. And I actually have some vincas still in bloom as well. This was the earliest blooming camellia, but you can see a lot of the blooms have already faded, but not all. And this is my button ginger. Here's an early blooming azalea. This is my Malaysian orchid. Here's some blooms on my Alabama Beauty, don't I? Alabama Beauty camellia. I don't have the bloom yet, but this is my ligularia, or Fujium, and it's getting ready to bloom. I have one on the other side as well. I'll show you. Okay, here's it's getting ready to give a yellow bloom. They also call this tractor seat plant and leopard plant. Still have quite a few blooms on this begonia, though the cold spell that we had did kind of knock it back. This is the first time this has bloomed for me, and I guess I've only had it for like a year or so. But this absolutely is one of the most gorgeous camellias. And let me just I have a tag here. So it's Early Wonder. And here's a fresh one it's a teeny little baby, so it doesn't have that many blooms. I actually still have this one on my bromeliad. And I know these aren't blooms, but really beautiful color on these bromeliads here as well. And while we're talking about bromeliads, I have this one and that one. I found this one in the middle of the basket weave grass. It's an impatient. And these I will plant over and over again. And I think it looks spectacular against the blue agave. But these are Mexican tithonias. And to get a little bit closer, I mean, just look how they glow in the sun. I mean, that's a little bit more yellow than it appears in person. But yeah, these are beautiful. This amaranth is still doing pretty well. Another Mexican tithonia. Giant milkweed. Salvias are fading, but they're still hanging in there. These knockout roses truly are a knockout. Look at that. And I have some pentas in the background, pink pentas. Here's some lantana, and if I don't water these all the time, they start fading, and those are the cannas. I'll show you another one. Here we go. Better looking cannas, at least a couple of them. Here's a new bloom. This I actually planted from a cutting, and it grew so fast. It's oleander, and they're getting ready to bloom, but this one did come out. All right, this is the first bloom on this hibiscus, and oh my goodness, that color is extraordinary. You can see that I did have blooms, and I've been eating or drinking tea out of the roselle, but it also has a few blooms, but those are fading. And a couple more in the back. But oh yeah, I can't wait for the rest of these to bloom. They're just so gorgeous. This is the Pierce de Resistance, which is my peach drift roses. And actually to the right of that, I have Duchesse de Bourbon. But that's fading, and the new one's coming to take its place. And then over here, I have some more babies of this peach drift roses. I'm getting more buds on my roses, and this is the Belinda's Blush that's getting ready to bloom. And the fire bush still has a lot of nice flowers, and look at all the pollinators. And while this Mrs. B. Arcant doesn't have flowers yet, there are buds developing, so I look forward to bringing those in the next couple of weeks, as well as a bunch of my other brand new rose bushes. Oh my goodness, this jasmine smells like heaven. And then I just wanted to do one scan of the crotons because they look beautiful and not beautyberry. I've really come to appreciate these really dark ones too. They just add a different dimension. And my bottle brush is actually starting to bloom as well. You can see some, but it's not blossomed out yet. 'Tis the season for the Turk's cap. It hasn't been raining that much. This is the dry season, so it's looking a little bit limp, but look at all these flowers. like upside down closed hibiscus, and they're called Turk's cap. There are actually still some blooms on my thryallis. And these are just beautiful blue daze. And I think this is the last batch of flowers. They are bleeding hearts.